Hey everyone, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. If you don't, then just happy holidays, because there are many other holidays in December and New Year's coming up, so that'll be exciting. But anyway, this is going to be my Christmas kind of bookish, but sort of other things haul, because I'm including other things that aren't just books. But there are several books. And only only two of them were actually given to me by other people, which you'll get in a minute. But anyway, I will dive straight in. So first we have Neil Gaiman's Art Matters, because your imagination can change the world, and this is illustrated by Chris Riddell. And, and then on the back it says, be bold, be rebellious, choose art, it matters. And this, I think, came about, how I found out about this is I was watching, I saw a tweet that Neil Gaiman did, that he, posted a picture of it on Instagram, or I saw something to do with his Instagram. Okay, I saw a tweet that he did, but it was on my main Google page, because Google, at this point knows I'm a huge Neil Gaiman fan, and it's weird when Google does that, when Google's like, hey, we know you like this, so we're gonna put this stuff in the news, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, creepy. Anyway, he was talking about doing a live signing for this book that was coming out, and it was the day that it came out, and he didn't do the live signing then, he did the live signing 2 weeks earlier, and I had no idea. So I went and watched the live signing, and he signed 200 copies of this. I don't think he signed all 200 in the video. I think he just did 50 or so. But anyway, in that, he talked about how this book came about. And basically what was happening was Chris Riddell, who has illustrated a lot of Neil Gaiman's books before, was taking little snippets of Neil Gaiman's writing and illustrating them and putting that on his website or something, I think. And of course all of this was with Neil Gaiman's permission. And so William Morrow, HarperCollins, saw this and was like, hey, we can make a book out of this. And they were like, okay. So then that turned into this, because these are all works of Neil Gaiman's that had been previously published. So this says, on the inside, it says, the world always seems brighter when you've just made something that wasn't there before. That's a Neil Gaiman quote. And then it says, no less than a creative call to arms from the mind of Neil Gaiman, Art Matters combines the beloved author's extraordinary words with deft and striking illustrations from award-winning artist Chris Riddell. Drawn together from speeches, poems, and creative manifestos, this remarkable, timely, and important volume explores how reading, imagining, and creating can change the world. It is a shining testament to the freedom of ideas, making art in the face of adversity, and choosing to be bold. And yeah, I saw that tweet, and I saw this live signing, and I immediately went and bought, initially it was just going to be, hey, I'm going to get this for my best friend Benjamin for Christmas, because he is also a diehard Neil Gaiman fan, and I've also got him a couple other Neil Gaiman things that were illustrated by Chris Riddell before, and then I was like, no, you really want that for yourself too, so I also got one for me. So this was a little Christmas present to myself, and I'm very excited to read it. And then, I have Hank Green's An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, and this I actually pre-ordered when it first came out, because I knew that he was signing pre-orders, and that they were going to be Barnes & Noble Book Club editions, because they were selected for the Barnes & Noble Book Club for October, I believe. And of course, not all of them, just the Barnes & Noble ones. But then So what I did was I really wanted to pre-order it so I could get the signed one. And so I didn't have the money to do that at the time myself. So I asked my aunt if she would do it and I would pay her back, and she said sure. And then I realized Christmas. So I was like, hey, can this just be a Christmas present, and like I pre-order it and then I give it to you and you hide it away until Christmas? And she was like, sure, that sounds like a good plan. So I did. And so I haven't opened the package until today that had the book in it. So when I opened it, you guys, I'm so excited. Not only is there a Hank Green signature in this, there is a Hanklerfish. And I think he calls it a Hanklerfish. Is it a Hanklerfish or a Hanglerfish? I think it's a Hanklerfish. Anyway, I've wanted one of these for years. Like, ever since... There was one of John Green's books that Hank was also just signing some of, and he was signing some of them with a little Hanklerfish. Like, he wasn't signing his name, because that'd be weird to sign your name in your brother's book, but he was doing little Hanklerfishes. And I've wanted one of these ever since then. And I got one, and I'm so excited. Okay, so I will read you guys the inside of this. This says... in Hank Green's sweeping cinematic debut novel, a young woman becomes an overnight celebrity before realizing she's part of something bigger and stronger than anyone could have possibly imagined. The Carls just appeared. Roaming through New York City at 3 a.m., 23-year-old April May stumbles across a giant sculpture, delighted by its appearance and craftsmanship, like a 10-foot-tall transformer wearing a suit of samurai armor. April and her best friend Andy make a video with it, which Andy uploads to YouTube. The next day, April wakes up to a viral video and a new life. News quickly spreads that there are Carls in dozens of cities around the world, from Beijing to Buenos Aires, and April, as their first documentarian, finds herself at the center of an intense international media spotlight. Seizing the opportunity to make her mark on the world, April now has to deal with the consequences her new particular brand of fame has on her relationships, her safety, and her own identity. And all eyes are on April to figure out not just what the Carls are, but what they want from us. Yeah, so I'm very, very excited about this. So yeah, this will be very soon in the new year. It's when I will read this one. And what else? This one is so cool. I'm very excited about it. This is called Origins of a Story, 202 True Inspirations Behind the World's Greatest Literature. This was my Christmas gift from my best friend Benjamin, and oh my goodness, I'm so incredibly excited about this. So this is the origin stories of like how so many great works of literature came to be, the inspirations behind them. And how it started was the author, Jake Grogan, his favorite book is Watership Down by Richard Adams, and he found out that backstory, and I guess I haven't read what that backstory is yet, but I guess it was just so cool that that's what inspired him to continue looking at other books, backstories and inspirations and origin stories. And eventually he created this book. So I just think that's really cool. And this says, Ernest Hemingway, already one of the world's preeminent writers, decides he has something left to prove. Hunter S. Thompson needs a break from the rigors of a tough assignment and rents a car to Vegas. Dr. Seuss tries to win a bet with his editor. The rest is literary history. And of course, there's more on the inside flap, but I kind of don't really want to read that because I've already started reading snippets from this, and I think that's more fun than reading the inside to kind of spoil it before you get to it. And it's really, these end papers are just really beautiful. Like, here's what the end papers look like. It's just a whole bunch of famous book covers. And then that's what the book itself looks like without the cover. So I'm incredibly excited about this. And I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to read just the snippets from the books that I have read before. And then for the ones that I haven't read that are on my shelves, I'm going to wait and read the books first and then read the snippet, because I feel like with an origin story, maybe that might end up creating a plot spoiler, maybe one that I wouldn't necessarily know about the book, so I think it's safer to read that this way. Read this that way, I mean. So basically I'm reading this the same way that I've been reading The Novel Cure, and I'm just very excited about it. And I think at this point I'm going to stop here and actually make a part 2, because I want to upload small videos instead of, you know, doing this and filming a giant like 20-minute video and then turns out YouTube won't upload it. So I will say goodbye here and pick this up again in part 2. Let me know what you think of any of the things I've talked about so far, and I will see you guys later. Bye.